Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual. Today, I would like to speak about your personality is your honor. The more you wake up to becoming an individual and, alive, aware, and observing from your own inner being and see how you yourself operate, kind of through halfway separating yourself and observing yourself objectively. That means you take yourself as any other human being. You will quickly come to see that the more you individualize, the more you wish to present correctly, the more you wish to walk correctly, speak correctly, and have a right thinking, and it's purifying our being so that we are having as pure a connection as possible when we speak from our own inner soul and spirit. So when we truly have grasped and come to an awakening, when we say awakening, we mean become conscious of yourself, self-reflect your mistakes, your whole being, personality, everything, and see what we can do about it. That is working upon our own inner being. That is how we ennoble ourselves. So when we with our ego is brave enough and, leaving aside our pride enough so that we can actually acknowledge that we have something within our own being that we represent and work upon to represent to the world. And every single individual is either not thinking about it at all, or are not fully aware that they have a personality. A personality is something you truly build upon and get a character for over many experiences and many pains and struggles that has truly brought an impression upon you. Something that has changed you because of its magnitude in force. It has been experiences that really has helped shake your world up, and it has brought about a different perspective on things because you truly have felt many of the lower experiences of life, right? So when you have, you can relate through these things, not through pity, not through feeling sorry for ourselves, but through truly grasping and getting a hold of the healing that is, fully in present when you are within your own being working upon yourself. You see, your ego is a healing force because your ego is a miniature ego of what the Christ, the cosmic ego, gave us. So the more you purify and connect and lift yourself up, the more alike you become the higher beings. So the more you immerse yourself in thoughts, feelings, concepts, symbols that is in relation to the spiritual world behind all the physical. We should not just remove the physical altogether. We should have the physical here and acknowledge that it is part of this development, that it is we have 4 elements, right? And every element kind of it is not about fire, air, water and earth per se. It is the state of the substances. So mercury, for example, is still liquid, still water, although it is a metal, you see. It is about the state. So lava or magma too is also a kind of liquid, although it is viscous as can be for lava, I suppose. But you also then you have different densities, and the funny part is how mercury works down here on Earth also is similar to how it works on Mercury. You see, as I have written earlier in descriptions on my video, is we have been, this whole solar system have been one mass at a time, and this Earth has many metals that reflects the residues of those planets, like gold in the sun, silver in the moon, Mars and iron, Mercury, and so on. It is pretty cool, I think. and to have just a little imagination and life into all of this. It brings a certain new way of living. You truly take a hold of your personality. You see, your personality is a manifested point in time. You are a personality of this time, a product of this age, because you are living in this age. Hence, you are growing, becoming in this age. So it is about trusting that and to find out what we are meant to share and give to the world at this present moment. And to cultivate the consciousness soul, that means, let's say you observe a rose. I use this example because it is just the clearest one. You observe a rose. Passively observing it and just letting it work upon you brings you to the sentient soul. Then you just feel the flower in a sense, but you are not necessarily aware of it. You just observe the flower passively. Then you are working upon the sentient soul if you are conscious. You can really feel the flower. You can find it beautiful. And you can take the flower and lift it into your intelligent soul so you can reflect upon the flower, its nature, its colors, its roots, and all of these different things. Everything you can truly observe with your imagination on a flower. You see, we are pretty flexible and good at this if we practice. That is changing that flower from the sentient soul, from the feeling, to the intelligent soul, where you reflect upon it, where you are thinking on it and coming to understand that flower. So after you have come to understand that flower, then you can bring it into the consciousness soul because you wish to share that knowledge of the flower with others. Then you have worked upon it and made it kind of yours, you see. You have assimilated it into your being as reality. You have to find the correlating reality to it from the outside too, so you don't get lost. Because there is always, the spiritual has a correlating spiritual reality to these physical to these physical results. As one of my mottos is, the physical is a result of spiritual facts. So the spiritual is constantly working upon every substance and are the substance. It is created from the same substance, the heat of the thrones, worked upon and condensed down to all of this. And it is amazing, beautiful. So by you working upon yourself, meditating, practice walking, practice talking, practice standing upright, straight up with your spine, chest out. Of course, not to over exaggerate and all of this, but you do not do this to impress others. You do not do this because you want to be accepted. You do not do this to feel adequate. You do this because it is right, because it is enjoyable to do it. You love to do it because, well, you have been given small glimpses of the higher beings, and because of it you can't leave it be. It is kind of a carrot and a stick, you see, and that is the begging of the spirit. We are at the time where we now have to work for it. We really have been a little stagnant lately. So now we need to work in freedom, individuality, personality. Help others do the same. Make them aware of this from the consciousness soul, you see? So that they can, I had to finish that one. When you take the flower to the, I said it. When you take the flower to the consciousness soul, you wish to share it with others because you have worked upon it from your own inner being, reflected upon it and found out from your own everyday, day-to-day living. Not speculation, not theories, not just cold, detached hypotheses, but you are actually living from your own inner being out. So whatever happens it is kind of, it's hard to explain it, but I am a kind of a very open dude, so when I go out I often observe and see what is going to happen. Is it something that I should be aware of? Is it some people I should talk with? Is it anything? Anything. And that is how enthusiastic and initiative do you take in all of this? Your personality has a big say in it. You have a big say in your own life and your own inner practices and how you conduct yourself in life. Outer happenings is not necessarily always in your control, if at all. But your inner being and how you choose to react to it, how you choose to have a moral objective view on it, and how much you would love the reality and higher powers and your life. How grateful are you? How in reverence and devotion can you be? How much can you fill your whole being with goodness, truth, and love? The true, the good, and the beautiful. Or do you wish to be remembered as someone that is cold, detached, and uncaring? I wouldn't. I would like to be remembered as someone that at least tried, someone that made an effort to bring certain insights. I am not a dude to lead and be a ruler, and none of us are meant to. Every single individual are meant to be high priests and priestesses and royalties of the divine. Every single one. No one here is worth more than the other, obviously, and that is why certain fashions of ruling doesn't work anymore, because we see they are the same as us. That is why celebrities. That is why I can't take myself to. They are normal human beings with flaws and everything. They are no saints. None of us are. But it is about what can you do about it? What can you do about these flaws, these inner demons, these shadows? Or are you too afraid to go in there and find out? It is about having the fortitude. So justice, judgment, fortitude, and prudence with faith, love, and hope. These 7 virtues really helps you strengthen your inner being. And the feelings of these words really are beings. Justice, karma, judgment. Yeah, you kind of feel that one. You judge yourself, really. Don't mind too much others. Mind how you conduct yourself. Always be aware of yourself in that regard and see what you put out and so on. Being aware of yourself. So, yeah. It is all about mastering oneself, sculpting oneself, forming, shaping. To break the mold, you have to hold a new shape. You see? You have to, it's kind of acting. It is kind of being an actor, but you fully live yourself into it until it becomes reality. Because when you are always that personality, that center, that ego, that core that you are. But what shapes around it changes all the time. Well, your ego also becomes richer and deeper and more awake to itself and to its surroundings, its own being, your body. So, I will leave you with this today. Thank you so much. You are a genius. You are amazing. And I know we will be fully able to strengthen this etheric stream, connecting our intelligence to Michael again, holding our strength and dignity, and represent our personality, well, as good as you can in this day and age. Because we need to express ourselves. We should express ourselves. We should shape our personalities, become, but in goodness, not in isolation and separation or in conflict, but in understanding, warm, inclusive understanding. And that is easier said than done, but because putting yourself pride a little is very hard to not feel like you are, that is really an active practice to fight against these 7 beings, pride, sloth, lust, gluttony, wrath, greed, and envy. And that is why we have the 7 virtues: justice, judgment, fortitude, prudence, faith, love, and hope. So, that is what I will leave you with today. May Father, Christ, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, Michael, higher hierarchy, ancient masters of old, ancestors from every incarnation, bless, protect, guide, and love you on your amazing path to personality. Remember, the spirits of personality is very, very high beings. You see, you are a manifestation of of a personality in this day and age. That means you are part of them, this global affair where every human being is counted for. Not this segregation, separation into groups but from individual to individual. That is how we truly meet. From individual to individual. Heart to heart. Understanding to understanding, or the lack thereof. That is also a reality. So it is about cultivating that understanding. When you do, it sticks. And it is a good thing. Effort is a good thing. True spiritual activity and warmth. It brings life. It brings a movement into your being. It brings health. It brings something to live for. It brings you out your... Is that something bad? Well, that is for... those that say it is bad are people that are cowards. Because they should express their individual, unique qualities, and not be ashamed of them. And that is the beautiful part now, because personality is good. Just remember that. And we end with this. Bless you. Thank you so much. I love you. Goodbye.